Okay, let's just jump right in. We're looking at a scheme today that can fundamentally change how you plan your retirement cash flow in 2026. If you're approaching retirement, or hey, maybe you're already there, you know the drill. Preserving that hard earned capital while still getting a steady, reliable income, that's the ultimate goal. So let's break down exactly how to make that happen. I want you to ask yourself this. What if an investment existed that actually offered government backed safety, a high interest rate, and perfectly predictable quarterly payouts? Sounds a little too good to be true, right? Because usually chasing high returns means taking on uncomfortable market risks, which is literally the exact opposite of what you want to do with your retirement corpus. Well, the answer to that question is the Senior Citizen Savings Scheme, or SCSS. It's essentially the ultimate financial anchor for retirees in India. Instead of stressing out over stock market volatility, this scheme just gives you total peace of mind, and more importantly, steady cash flow right when you need it most. All right, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We've got 6 parts. 1. What is the SCSS? 2. Key features and benefits. 3. Eligibility and investment rules. 4. Taxes and drawbacks. 5. SCSS versus other investments. And finally, 6. Is SCSS right for you? Let's get going. Section 1. What is the SCSS? So, the really crucial point to grasp here is that the SCSS is totally backed by the government of India. It's built specifically to generate regular post-retirement income. And the best part? It completely ignores the stock market. Seriously, no market risks whatsoever. You aren't waking up and stressing over ticker symbols going up and down. You're just earning a highly secure, stable income. It's practically a fortress for your capital.
Section 2. Key features and benefits. What's genuinely fascinating about this scheme is how all these features stack up. You get a rock-solid principal guarantee, right? Plus, a locked-in, high-interest rate for the entire tenure of the account. But here's the real kicker. That interest pays out every single quarter, direct to your linked bank account. It aligns perfectly with your regular bills, your medical needs, the whole shebang. You are not waiting years just to see a return on your money.
And look at how beautifully this adapts over time. You open the account, that's year 0, and it runs for an initial maturity of exactly 5 years. But, life keeps going after 5 years. So the scheme smartly lets you optionally extend it for another 3 years after that initial maturity. That flexibility is huge because it means you don't have to scramble to find a brand new investment vehicle the very second your first 5 years are up. Section 3. Eligibility and investment rules. The rules on who can actually invest are super straightforward. If you're an individual aged 60 or above, you're in. If you retired under eligible VRS conditions before 60, you might also qualify. On the flip side, NRIs and Hindu undivided families, HUFs, are strictly excluded. No way around that. Also, while you can open a joint account with your spouse, keep in mind that the investment limit is tied purely to the primary account holder. Now, I really need you to pay attention to this number. 30 lakh rupees. That is the absolute maximum investment limit allowed under the current rules. But the floor, it's wonderfully low. You can literally start with a minimum of just 1,000 rupees, investing in multiples from there. Plus, you can open these accounts at India post offices and most public and private banks, making it incredibly easy to access. Section 4. Taxes and drawbacks. All right, time for a reality check. This is a massive gotcha that could definitely disrupt your financial planning. While the principal amount you put in qualifies for Section 80C tax deductions, which is awesome, the interest you earn is fully taxable. Yep, the tax man always makes sure to get his due. It's also subject to TDS, so you absolutely have to factor your specific tax bracket into your calculations to figure out your true post-tax returns. You've also got to keep these strict limitations in mind. Look, life is unpredictable. We all know that. If you really have to pull your money out before those 5 years are up, you're going to get hit with penalty deductions. Plus, a fixed tenure means you will eventually have to figure out reinvestment. And let's not forget inflation. Over time, inflation can quietly eat away at the real purchasing power of fixed returns. Golden rule here, only invest the portion of your corpus that you absolutely won't need for immediate emergencies. Section 5. SCSS vs. Other investments. Let's do a quick rapid-fire comparison. First up, SCSS versus traditional bank fixed deposits. SCSS is totally exclusive to seniors and mandates a strict quarterly income payout, but it generally gives you a higher rate. Bank FDs, available to anyone with highly flexible tenures. Both give you taxable interest, but SCSS is literally tailor-made for that reliable, recurring post-retirement cash flow.
Next, let's look at SCSS against the PPF. Total night and day here. PPF is a 15-year commitment geared toward long-term wealth creation, and it offers tax-free interest under current rules. It's brilliant for building your corpus before you retire. SCS, however, is a 5-year play for immediate, taxable, quarterly cash. They do totally different things, but honestly, they can complement each other beautifully in a master financial plan.
Finally, compared to the Post Office Monthly Income Scheme, or POMIS. While SCSS is senior-specific and pays out every quarter, the POMIS is open to a much broader set of investors and pays interest monthly. Really, your choice here just boils down to what your household budget actually needs. Do you need cash hitting your account every 30 days, or is a quarterly bump perfect for you?
Section 6, is SCSS right for you?
Listen, the absolute biggest mistake you can make is dumping your entire retirement corpus into just one single scheme. Because of that 30 lakh investment limit and the reality of long-term inflation, you really need to view SCSS as just one dependable slice of a much larger, diversified pie. A smartly balanced portfolio blends income generators like SCSS and bank deposits with growth engines like equities or debt mutual funds to actually protect you against inflation over the long haul. And as you're building that portfolio, please don't fall into these hidden traps. Don't ignore how inflation affects fixed returns over the years. Don't forget to account for your specific tax bracket because, again, that interest is taxable. And honestly, don't overlook the administrative basics. Make sure you actually nominate a beneficiary and sit down every so often to review your portfolio. You have to ensure it's still keeping up with your actual lifestyle needs. So, what is the final takeaway of this explainer? Well, if you're a conservative investor and things like capital preservation, government-backed safety, and predictable quarterly payouts are your absolute top priorities, SCSS remains a premier, practically unbeatable retirement choice for 2026. It takes away all the stress of watching the markets and just replaces it with guaranteed cash flow. I'll leave you with this provocative question to chew on for your own financial journey. Would you actually lock your retirement corpus into SCSS, or do you prefer the ultimate flexibility of a traditional fixed deposit? Take a moment to weigh your need for regular income against your tax situation. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.